Remember when I said a wrench could be thrown in the plans for the Microsoft and Activision Blizzard merger? Well, we might have just found our wrench. And a major shakeup hits Sony. But let's break this all down. Up next. What up, guys? This is Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. Now, a little housekeeping before we get into today's news. That number is creeping up. It's very close to 500. I think we're at 440 subscribers, so shout out to each and every one of you. But if you've been watching any of the gameplay videos we've been doing, Sons of the Forest, Phasmophobia, Sonic Adventure DX, I've kind of been saying if you guys want it at 500, I think I'm going to start a Twitch channel or start streaming gameplays here on YouTube. So just let me know if you want that. But I think it's pretty safe to say on all sides of this case, things are just starting to get a little bit ridiculous here when it comes to the Activision Blizzard merger. Over the past few days, the FTC has revived its challenge against Microsoft's $69 billion buyout of Activision Blizzard. But it's worth noting, at least right here, without a preliminary injunction, the FTC cannot prevent Microsoft from closing the deal before the October 18th deadline. And the FTC continues to claim this deal is a threat to competition, and they want to challenge that within their in-house court. Now, if you've been paying attention to this case for quite some time, their basis for opposing this merger was one that was built off their idea of a lack of competition within the gaming world. But this case has only gotten weaker and weaker over the past few months, with Microsoft bending over backwards to appease any and all regulators like the CMA and selling off cloud streaming rights to Ubisoft. And at one point, they really focused in on exclusivity for Call of Duty in regards to PlayStation. Since then, Sony has signed a contract with Xbox to resolve that whole issue. So, what on earth are they trying to argue about this time? Another key date to look at here would be that in-house court hearing, which will take place after the October 18th deadline and after the CMA gives their final ruling on this merger. Microsoft and Activision's Lulu Cheng responded to this news by stating, quote, "We're focused on working with Microsoft towards closing. How the FTC uses limited taxpayer dollars is its decision." Now, another big question here is, sure, Microsoft could technically close over the FTC, seeing how, again, the hearing will take place after the October 18th deadline. But would they actually do this or work things out with the FTC? Well, it turns out Microsoft has responded to this and stated, quote, "We still anticipate that we will close the transaction by October 18th. And we have full confidence in our case and the deal's benefits to gamers and competition." At this point, it's just getting annoying to see that the FTC is coming back to yet another lost cause. Microsoft has proven over the past years they are willing to work with anyone and everyone who has the slightest problem with this deal, and the FTC still refuses to see that. But switching over to a rather bit of surprising news here, which was first reported by Bloomberg, and this is in regards to Jim Ryan and how he will be retiring as CEO of PlayStation. Ryan released this here statement to address the matter. "After 30 years, I have made the decision to retire from SIE in March of 2024. I've relished the opportunity to have a job I love in a very special company, working with great people and incredible partners. But I've found it increasingly difficult to reconcile living in Europe and working in North America." Ryan will officially be stepping down from his position in April of 2024. And Hiroki Totoki, who is Sony Group's corporation's president, COO, and CFO, will step into the role as interim CEO once Ryan is gone. But to kind of end on somewhat of a good note here, Stephen Totilo did a good job highlighting some of the great things that Jim Ryan had done in his tenure with Sony, like launch the PlayStation 5 in the middle of the pandemic, which is on pace to sell out the PS4. Not to mention PlayStation's expansion into the PC market and key acquisitions like Bungie, Haven, House Marquee, and Bluepoint. But all in all, it's going to be pretty interesting to see the direction Sony takes moving on from their post-Jim Ryan era. But with all that being said, I'm going to pass this question off to you guys. Do you think this little hiccup with the FTC will slow things down, or do you think we're on the route to closure? I'm honestly at the point where I just gotta say no, it's not gonna slow anything down. This has to end one way or the other. But that about does it here. I've been K-Lo. I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.